You want a war? You're going to get one.
What was that? He had no time for one more play.
He had an opportunity to win that game at the end.
But the referee screwed us. The brother screwed us.
I'm upset, but
the brother screwed us.
At least they fought back and tried.
Only Cowboys game.
You literally
screwed us. The brother screwed us. He had one man opportunity for one more play.
Dallas still stinks.
Yo, my do it, Dingbat here. Welcome to another day as we prepare for the Giants Eagles, and we start with the old-fashioned sit-down. Saquon Barkley held the sit-down between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, and the question is, does it help? Will it help at all? I think it will. I actually think it was overdue, and I think it's what needed to be done. What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Chris North is here. Stinky Fish, Little G Griffith, Casper, my man, big time actor right there. KGK, Darren, Arthur McQueen, Foster, Adam the Spiny Giant is back, ready for Giants to take another beating. Maniac Matt, Ultra Vegeta, Gobble Eater, Harold, Odell Boy, Chris Moore, Dremwich, and anybody I missed. I see Mav is here, pissed as always. Eagles has landed. Manuel, where's my corner? His name is Ringo. However, I just heard as I was getting ready to come on here, Vic Fangio a couple minutes ago, and he basically was saying that Nakobe Dean could be activated this week and could play limited snaps. That's pretty interesting. I thought they were going to give him the extra week instead of playing him on a Thursday night. Also, it's being reported that Landon Dickerson is probably going to miss 1 to 2 games, which I think at the end of the day could be the best thing that happens to the Eagles because they need offensive line help. They do. Shaquille, my man, what's going on? How are you? Hope you're doing well. Brother screwed us.
The brother screwed us.
Yeah. Big Mouth says, how many jelly donuts Mark Holmes is going to eat on Sunday? Look, dude, that guy's out of his mind right now. Did you see the video he did of me melting down, in which I didn't even melt down? He'll take shots at Eagles today, believe me. We need a Kobe for run defense. Question is how many snaps is he going to get? I agree with you. He helps against the run. I like Nakobe, and I think he's a tone setter. It's really going to be interesting to see what they do with Jahad Campbell because I don't think you can take Jahad Campbell off the field. You know, Landon needs to come back after the bye. You just rest him. You know, I think the best thing that could happen for him is getting rest. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust this plug. Mike, can you get off? These little kitties are now they're now interested in my plugs, my power cord to my computer. Nick, thank you for the super chat, my man. First of the day, I appreciate that. Seeing reports McDaniels get fired soon. I'm all about this, right? This is what I would do. He gets fired. I tell him, look, we want you to come in as a consultant the rest of the year. And then, look, I put Patullo on blast. Get it right or you're done. And then I fire him. And then in comes McDaniel next year. I think McDaniels on this offense would be great. KCA, and thank you, Nick, for that super chat. KCA Eagle says, sorry, but Mark Holmes is going to roast you tomorrow. What's he going to roast me about? I'm just going to, what is he going to say? Oh, the Eagles lost. Yeah, one time in 1 year. To me, that doesn't bother me. You know, he's going to go, oh, they're not like the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. What's going to get on my nerves is, but Dak Prescott's an MVP. He's Tom Brady-esque. That's the stuff that gets on my nerves. But I'm just going to sit there. I'm going to sit there and let this guy just write. See, I'm thinking just let him write checks. His ass can't cash. because you know he's setting himself up for failure later. Shaquille says, all things considered, I'm doing great. 4-1. Yeah, dropping non-divisional, non-conference game on to the next. Could be 7-1 by the bye week. All still in front of us, Go Birds. I agree. And I'll ask this. Who's the undefeated team in the league? Nobody. There is no team that is undefeated. But you would think that the Eagles are 0-4 right now, by the way people act. 500, bring Dean back and replace Jalix with Campbell. The question is can they do that? Like, can Jahad Campbell go to the edge rusher and rush effectively, or are we putting too much on his plate as a rookie? I don't know, man. But Jalix Hunt needs to be benched. Well, not almost say benched, but he needs to be demoted. Like I would start Azeez Ojulari over him. He hasn't been good. Yeah, Nicole's leader, Barn and Campbell are going to have D8. Well, we'll see. I'm all for Mike McDaniel as a consultant, offensive coordinator. Me too. They should put Dean in their running downs. Do you think we trade A.J. Brown? I hope not. No. They're not trading A.J. Brown. That's not going to happen. We got 361 people in here today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Keith says, what up, Philly? The situation between Hurts and Brown is irrelevant to me. Do your job and let's win another championship. Yeah, really. I mean, I agree. You don't have to love each other. You don't have to do all that. You just got to go play. But, whatever they did, they finally Barkley got them. It sounded like Barkley was running the sit down and he was the man kind of trying to get things aired out and on the same page. Probably 2-3 weeks late, and it probably should have been done by the coaches. But, we'll see how it helps. Chris Kaufman says, must-win game Thursday. Things have the potential to go horribly bad if we lose. Yeah, I agree. I don't think this is a game you can afford to lose. You got to win it, get back on track. If you win it, great, you're back on track. But if you lose it, it's going to be bad. Division games always have playoff implications. They do. And Thursday night games always worry me. They just do. Will Vic Fangio and Mike McDaniels work well together on the same team? McDaniels was Fangio's boss once. Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think the split up when Fangio left Miami was like. I don't think there was any bad blood there. I think Fangio wanted to go home, wanted to be closer to his family in the Philly area, and there were defensive players that had issues. Not so much McDaniel, but he would be an offensive coordinator. So who cares what he likes? He doesn't. He's the offensive coordinator, not the head coach. The Bengals trading for Joe Flacco. Is there something I missed with the quarterback? Did they just do that right now? Because I haven't seen that. That would be hilarious. I agree. Move Campbell to defensive end and maximize the linebacker play. Question is can he play it? I mean, here's my question for a rookie. By putting him in multiple positions, are you putting too much on his plate? Or are you better off just saying, hey, look, we're going to use you in one position, learn that position, get comfortable with that position? Because Fangio, when he talked about Jahad Campbell at defensive end, I couldn't tell if he was just like not wanting to do it or not wanting to say he's going to do it. Nolan Smith is not coming back till at least week 9 or 10. Google AI is giving us a 76% chance to win Thursday. That should be about right. 500, been waiting for you, Joey, or LB to make a video or go live. Been watching No since 2016. And when I'm at work, I put headphones in and catch up on Eagles news from y'all. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you, Vic. No, I'm trying to go live Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, like in the morning. Now, tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow I'll have my preview prediction video out in the morning, and then I'm doing a shakedown preview Wednesday night. So, but usually that's what I've been trying to do. I appreciate you watching. Mayday, what's happening? Browns traded Flacco to the Bengals. Bengals are desperate. That ain't going to work out for them. Super Tony, thank you for Super Chickens. What up, 500? Did you get the message on Twitter? I have not. I haven't checked any of my messages in emails or Twitter the last 2 days. I need to go check them out. Wow. So the Bengals trade for Flacco. They're desperate. They're desperate, but it ain't gonna work. Lose a couple more games, and then it's time to trade Trey Hendrickson to the Eagles. That's what I think. From her, I think you convert Campbell to edge. He's Vic's prototype. The end can rush passer. I know, but it's just that you gotta then. This kid's gotta then learn two different positions. Like I still think if you watch him, I think he's very good, but I still think like his reaction time's a little off, especially on run plays sometimes. Like he's still adjusting. Now we're gonna give him another position and say, hey, go out there and learn this position. We didn't do that to Q, and we didn't do that to Cooper last year. But I mean, maybe it's something that he can do naturally. So we'll see. AJ Brown's looking like a curtain on the last play, locking down and hugging Smitty, preventing another last play. I mean, you think AJ Brown said, "Damn it, I'm mad at Jalen Hurts. I want to lose this game. Let me choke out Devontae Smith in midair." I just think they were trying to make a play, dude. What would have been funny is if they somehow the ball got deflected back and went right into Hurts' hands. That would have been crazy because did you guys see Hurts on the Hail Mary? He threw that up and he started sprinting downfield, man. I love that. I love that. Big Dogs with Brown trade Flacco and a 6 to the Bengals for 5th. The guy's what? The guy's like as old as me, right? He's old. Well, here's why I want. If the Browns thought Flacco was such a threat, would you trade him to your NFC North Division opponent? I don't think so. They probably move Bourne around instead of Campbell. I mean, that would make more sense to me, because he's played edge before. No, I mean, move him to edge full time. He played edge a lot at Alabama. See, I don't think they would do that this year. But they may on pass down say, you know what to do, just go do it, 500. It said that Saquon started the meeting. The Brown and Hurts would approach Barkley separately to confide. Barkley is the leader who started the meeting. I know it was a sit down. We Italians call it a sit down, and you have to work it out there, and that's what he did. 500. Well, Johnny Ringo looks like Denver Broncos just walked over his grave, especially in that 2-point conversion, man. But still, even still though, Nigel, even still, would you put him above a Dory Jackson? I still don't want a Dory. I still think he's better than a Dory Jackson. You know what I mean? Campbell's not going to go to edge. All you got to do is listen to Fangio, and you get the answer. He's not going to edge. He's a great linebacker. Yeah, I would be surprised if he went like 5, like full time there. I don't see it. Nolan Smith hasn't impressed me either. I really think Nolan Smith, me personally, I don't think I think he's another guy that has not been healthy. Name another quarterback in the league sprinting 40-plus yards to catch his own Hail Mary. That mentally makes him elite. Love it. It is. It's smart. It's smart. If he could have figured out some way to get underneath that thing. I mean, that's hard, but I love the fact, because how many times have you seen literally like a ball and a Hail Mary get deflected, bounce all around, and somehow just go wherever you don't think it's going to go? I mean, it very easily could have bounced back and then, bounce up in the air and he was able to run underneath it. It happens all the time. Browns don't care. They want a rookie quarterback to see if they have long-term answer at quarterback. Oh, yeah. I agree. They don't care. And he's no real threat. Aziz just has to play more. My guess is that he expected to start like Huff, and Vic Fangio doesn't cater to entitlement. But with Nolan Smith out, he needs more snaps. I mean, I thought he was better than Uche. I thought he was better than Jalen Hunt. So I thought he was the second best edge rusher you had on Sunday. I would play him again. Yeah, it's comparable to the Colombo Genovese. Yeah, exactly. The question is, will it work? You know what I mean? Will it work? AJ probably just mistook Devontae for a defensive back on the Hail Mary. Yeah, it's crazy. Harvard says, we're going to take all our frustrations out on the Giants. What better team for a get-back game than primetime mother-humping beatdown. Bad dog is a bad dog. Cause he knows the Giants always stink. He knows what's coming. He already knows. The Giants already know. I would trade Dorian a third for Ward. Yeah, but they wouldn't trade. They wouldn't do that. Jalen probably thought Smitty was going to catch it. He was running to celebrate. I just think he was being smart, man. I've never seen a quarterback do that, and I think it's genius. Don't sleep on the Giants. Well, I'll never sleep on division opponent. How about that? Nick, thank you for Super Chat. He goes, CJ to the Ravens practice squad. Is that really true? CJ's signing practice squad to the Ravens. Good. Good. I thought he was going to end up with Dallas. We knew we weren't going to sign him. He could go to the Ravens. I mean, how's he going to even play? That's my point. He's going to the practice squad of the Ravens, right? They already got, Starks, and then they got Hamilton. I mean, I don't know what the injury situation with those guys are, but that's nothing, dude. That ain't shit. I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. If he went to Dallas, I'd have to turn on him. Chris Dog, David Super CJ Gardner-Johnson just signed with the Ravens confirmed. Yeah, Ravens are desperate. What are they, 1-4? Their season's over. Yeah, I saw that the Ravens are looking to trade Andrews. I mean, I like that. How old is Andrews? What do you think it costs to trade Crosby? Crosby would cost a lot. I would assume Crosby would be at least a first-round pick. I think you could get Hendrickson for like a fourth. Because they're going to lose him for nothing. They already know that they're losing him next year. So if they're out of it, they're going to trade him. Yeah, Ravens need all the help they get. It's a little too late for the Ravens. My wife is a Giant fan. She said she just wants to see fight from her team on Thursday. She knows they are cooked. Yes, they are. Philly, do you think we trade any of our players at the deadline? I don't know if we'll trade player away, but I think we're going to acquire somebody. From Super Bowl champion to safety to practice squad on the Ravens 1 year. It's crazy, right? What edge could they trade? Well, I mean, that's going to be the question. I don't know what names really haven't emerged yet. Trey Hendrickson's kind of a no-brainer because he's in the last year of a deal, and the the Bengals pretty much told him they're not going to re-sign him. So they may look to get something for him at all once they're out of it. Other than that, I mean, you got that Granderson in New Orleans, possibly Thibodeau in New York. I'm just trying to think of pass rushers that could be available. And then I'm sure there will be more names to emerge. The Crosby thing, I don't know what to make of that because that really comes out of Dallas that the Cowboys are trying to get him. So, I don't know. With Jackson Dart starting and Darius Slayton as their number one receiver, anything less than a blowout is unacceptable. Well, I mean, the way I look at division records and division opponents is throw the record out the window. You play a division team, throw the record out the window. It's a lot of times these games are never blowouts. Even when you got a bad team versus a good team in a division, sometimes they are. It's just you never know what to expect. And Giants Eagles is always weird as it already, especially the fourth quarter. Rico says the total defense ranking has the Cowboys dead last and the Ravens 31st. Yeah, it was crazy. Do you draft an edge or offensive guard? Probably edge. I mean, assuming it's the best player on the board. Edge, best player on the board, and then guard in the second or third round because I trust the Eagles' ability to find a guard. Unless it's like a stud that's there, then do that. Yeah, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Ravens. I don't see shit online about CJ going to Ravens. Stop lying. There's a lot of people saying it. Crosby and for Dean and a second would say, I don't think they would do it. Yes, Barbie Doll Princess YouTube royalty has spoken. CJ to the Ravens. It don't matter. He ain't gonna. That pretty much puts That puts C.J. Gardner-Johnson on ice the rest of the year. He's done. I mean, they're bringing in safety help. They just drafted a safety in the first round, and they got Hamilton. He ain't going to play. He ain't even going to play. Nobody wants him. That's what it tells you. The Ravens now have both players from the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade. Ain't that funny? What if Gannon would have hit Jalen Carter like he hit his players this past weekend? Yeah, that wouldn't have gone good. Now I want to blow out. I don't care if it's a division game. We should beat them by 14. We should. But it just, I'm not saying it won't happen. I think it will. But just, to me, I'm just like, I just want a W. I just want to be 5-1 come Friday. Don't care about the division opponent. Giants think Eagles better beat them by at least 2 touchdowns. They should. The O-line needs to step it up this weekend because we cannot let our quarterback keep getting sacks, man. Yeah, the offensive line is a big problem right now. Dickerson's getting rest, which I'm very happy. I think that helps in the long run. But what about Cam Jurgens? He has not been good. So, he's hurt too, I think. So, what are they going to do? This defensive line you're playing versus Giants is nasty. They've got a nasty pass rush. You can run on them. This should be a Barkley game, really. This should be a Barkley game. You can see that Dickerson and Jurgens kept getting beat, push, past the line of scrimmage. I know. I never seen them happen to them. So do you think comes out of the Hurts-Barkley emergency meeting? The sit down, I think that it's probably going to help. I don't see how it could hurt. You get on the same page, you put whatever differences behind, and you just focus on the now. I think it's a good thing. Should have probably happened a couple weeks ago. And my question is why didn't the coaches? Why did it take the player and not the coaches to get it done? It should have happened weeks ago. Yeah, Bengals traded for Flacco. They're done. They're toast. Can you elaborate on the AJ, Jalen, and Saquon? So apparently, what we know is that both Hurts and AJ Brown separately confided in Barkley. So Barkley basically held a sit down between them two for a few hours yesterday. It lasted, and it supposedly went very positive. It was the 3 of them meeting and discussing and airing out grievances. So hopefully they can put whatever's been the issues and get back on the same page. That's really all we know. 500. I want to see Saquon to sit. You want Saquon to sit the next 3 games if his injury is serious. And did you see the documentary he requested a trade in 2023? It's a documentary. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it. Only thing I've watched is Task. But other than that, I haven't watched anything. But I wouldn't have been surprised he requested a trade. Actually, I do think I remember that he did because I did a big video the year before he became an Eagle that we needed to trade for him. And people said I was crazy. No, we didn't draft the center this year. Start him for a game. I wouldn't sit Barkley. Is not like he has knee soreness, but it's not like injury. So he's playing. Joel Ramos, thank you for super chat. This one has to be a bow due to the circumstances. What do you mean? What do you mean? And thank you for super chat. Oh God, yeah, Dak front runner MVP. Only in Mark Holmes and Dallas ass kissers eyes. Oh, he's got 10 touchdowns, dude. You played the Giants and the Jets. That's your 2 wins, and I'm supposed to bow down to this guy. Come on, it's September. It's Dak September. Pretty good October. He's okay in November, and then he stinks in December. Dak. Why do we trade for Tank Bisley if he does nothing? I don't know. Oh, blowout. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I'm hoping, dude. What do you think of Task? I think it's pretty good. I don't think the show runner has ever been to Delco, but the showrunner. I think the guy that made it. I thought he was from the area. I like it. I like it a lot. I thought the last episode was the best episode. At least they don't make people from the Philly area sound like they're from Brooklyn. At least they did that right. I like it though. Oh my God, Cowgirls dumb. Oh, they're very dumb. Pro 901, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate you. He goes, as players, you have to be in sync with each other. I respect Saquon for the sit down. I just wish the offensive coordinator could have been there to take accountability. I agree with you, Pro 901. Like, why didn't that happen with the coordinator and then 2 weeks ago? Like, this shouldn't have built up to the point where it spilled out into the media. I agree with you. I agree. Dak has been balling out, you got to admit, without Lamb. What happened with Chicago? I mean, look, it's very hard for me to put a lot of stock in beating the Jets. All right? There's a team that has played 5 games and hasn't gotten a turnover yet. So it's pretty hard for me to put stock in that game. Thought he played good in the Green Bay game. Thought he was horrendous in that Chicago game. Thought he was okay, not that great in the Eagles game. And then I thought the Giant game, yeah, he was fine. MVP? No. He has 2 wins versus the Giants and the Jets. No. Task is about this guy who's robbing drug dealers, basically. And then he's on a collision course with this FBI agent. That's pretty much all I can tell you. You can't be 2-2-1, second to last in your division, and be an MVP candidate. It's insane. It's insane, dude. I agree, Shaquille. It's insane. They want to give that guy awards so bad. I've never seen a guy get so much. If that was Hurts, they would be killing him. We need 500. Yeah, I'll have to talk. I'll have to reach out to him, man. I'll have to reach out to him. Philly, who's a good trade candidate? Who would you like to see us go for at the deadline? A pass rusher. I mean, I can't tell you specifically who, because I don't know who's going to be available. But like, if a Trey Hendrickson's available, any pass rusher that could come in and effectively help that pass rush, I'm all for. That's who I'm for. I really like you best both New York teams, and if you tied with the Packers, you not winning in a lot of games. Dallas will choke games. They will. Remember, Dallas is always, especially under Dak Prescott as quarterback, they're always really their best footballs in September and October, and then they fizzle. Dallas plays they play the Panthers on Sunday. Oh, what a tough game. They don't even play a good schedule. Doc, what's going on, man? How are you? What's happening? Bucks could be the team with the best wide receiver duo this season. Well, yeah, if Mike Evans comes back healthy. Kenny, it's 4 days of your birthday. Happy birthday to you. It's a good show. True, but Cowboys have been less than a touchdown away from beating the Eagles and Packers. Dallas offense is elite. It's the defense that will be the reason they go. They didn't look elite versus the Chicago Bears. I don't think their offense looked elite versus the Eagles. I mean, they'll bring back the CD drops, but they forget that the Quinyon Mitchell, walk-off interception. It was over. And you don't get those CD drops if Quinyon Mitchell picks that ball off. I think Dak had 188 yards. He stinks. Overrated. What do you think our record after 8 games will be? 7-1. 7-1. G-Code, what up, Fighters Fly? What's going on? What up, Philly? I think we make a trade soon. Hope. I think they'll do something. I don't know what, but I think they'll do something. Say 2K say, oh yeah, he's definitely real. Yeah, the edge has been really, really bad. Really, really bad. Philly 4 for 4 sources say Skinny Joey was at the Chiefs at the sit down. They met and has cheesesteak shop in the back room. Possibly. Dude, what happened to the guy last night on my stream to say he was going to throw a cheesesteak at Joey today? I want to hear that story. You want Javon Walker of the Jet? Yeah, Javon Walker. We can forget him because they're 4-1. The Jags are 4-1. Surfer Boy went out there and beat the Chiefs. They're not gonna trade him now. There's always Mark. Oh, Mark's really delusional. We don't care what he wants to be paid. Get Reddick. He's already under a contract. We only need 1 year. I don't think. You think the Tampa Bay would send Reddick to us? Josh Sweat has 5 sacks so far. Damn. I was gonna say about Sweat 5 sacks already. Damn. That's great. That's what we're missing right now. 500. I'm asking you your opinion on our offensive line and what do we do? I think I think the offensive line is really banged up. I think they came into this season injured. I think Cam with his back surgery this offseason, I don't think he's right. I don't think Landon Dickerson has been right. Lane Johnson has been hurt. And I think this is really affecting the play. So, what I think needs to happen is we need to hope that Cam gets healthier as the season goes on. Dickerson needs to sit. He needs to sit for at least 1 to 2 weeks, and that's what it sounds like they're going to do. That Dickerson sitting for 1 to 2 weeks could be huge for us because if he can get back to health, then the offensive line will start to take off. The offensive line has been a major problem that we don't talk enough about, but it really has, and it makes all the other offensive issues, flare up. When they're healthy and they're running well, and Barkley's getting 8 yards a carry or whatever it is, then it makes everything else kind of like you forget about. UDT goes, thank you for the super chat, my man. I appreciate it. What's kicking Philly? We don't have to worry about the Eagles. They'll be fine. Go Birds. Yeah, I think they'll bounce back. Look, you're gonna lose games. They've won. They had going in that game. They've won 20 straight. Well, not 20 straight, but 20 of 21 games. They hadn't lost since Washington. I mean, it has to happen at some point. You're better off having it happen against an out-of-conference team, I do want to see us play Wentz versus Minnesota. I don't think we need Becton back. Steen has been our best offensive lineman. Yeah, I think he's been. I think Steen's been fine. I don't think Steen is the issue. I think the issue is Landon Dickerson and Cam Jurgens. Every time Cam Jurgens gets ready to go to get down, he always stretches his back out. Do you notice that? I don't think he's good. I don't think he's healthy. We were dumb. Well, I'm very dumb. I have to eat a lot of crow with Jalen Hunt because I went out on a limb and said that. Look what he did in the playoffs. Look at his production in the playoffs. They're almost exactly similar to what Sweat got. We'll be fine. That is not the case. Jalen Hunt, he does not look good. And then not only is he not looking good, he was half-assing some of those plays versus the Bengals, dude. And I didn't like that. How are you going to get Trey Hendrickson makes the most sense in a lot of ways. Now, maybe people say, well, he can't cover as an edge, maybe. But as a pass rusher, he'll help you tremendously. And he's probably only going to cost you a mid-round pick. That could be the way. Bryce Huff resurrected. I'm not as surprised as others about Bryce Huff. I just don't think he fit the system. James Hawthorne, thank you for the super chat, my man. He goes, 500. I hope AJ apologized to Smitty for getting in the way of the Hail Mary. I think this was a player-only meeting, and Hurts will talk to the offensive coordinator. It was a 3-player meeting. right? It was a sit down, and hopefully it's resolved. You know. And James, thank you for that super chat, my man. I'm glad they had to sit down and fix things. This reminds me of the T.O. situation. This I don't think this is on the same level. This I don't think is on the same level as T.O. at all. T.O. went home and was doing push-ups in his driveway. You know what I mean? Like that was a circus show. I don't think this is that. Rather now regular season play. Oh yeah, agreed. Philly 4 for 4 says, I was a huge advocate for Nolan starting. I don't want him or Jalen starting anymore. They were supposed to be faster, and they still can't get home. I also think that Nolan Smith was hurt. I don't think he was fully healthy either. Todd may be fine with first string reps. Yeah, I think he'll be all right. Why you gotta blame the white guy? I'm just calling it as I see it, my friend. That's the last thing I think about. Cam Jurgens is getting killed. Last year, we pushed the D line back towards allowing Saquon 2 to 3 yards before contact. Now our O line is getting pushed backwards, and Saquon's dodging bodies in the backfield. Yeah, I think that point of contact is like 1 yard, maybe less for Saquon. As like last year, it was like 3 yards before he get hit. The offensive line is really been bad, and you know I think it makes everything else look bad too. Yeah, Milt Williams looks great. And I'm not surprised. Even Hurts almost pass interfered Smitty. Yeah. I have Hunt crumbs on my face too, 500. I mean, I hope he picks it up, but my God, man, you know? It's crazy. Hey, 500, I think this Super Bowl will be the Eagles versus Buffalo. Reason I think that is history. Think about to Andy Reid era and the Patriots lost week before Eagles. Both have not lost yet. Maybe, Manuel. Question about the Bills is, can the Bills get over Kansas City? Well, if Kansas City's even around, you know. Oh my God, we get it. CJ went to the Ravens. Yeah, ain't worried. I ain't worried about it. We're giving Saquon PTSD from his time in New York. Landon Dixon is out for multiple weeks, so that'll be beneficial in the long run. I think it'll be huge. Look, if he's out, let's say he's out this week and he's out next week. Here's the question I ask. So let's say he misses 2 games, right? Let's say Landon Dickerson is out versus the Jets, and I don't know if he'll do this, but let's say he's out versus the Giants, and then he's out versus the Vikings. Well, then the next game you have is the Giants at home. And then you have the bye week. I would say, why play him in that Giants game? Let him miss that game and then get a bye week and then come back healthy versus Green Bay Packers. So I would sit him 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks is what I would do. I would sit him for the next 3 games. Just let him rest and get healthy. Here's a guy with, a knee sprain. He has knee surgery before the first game, comes back too early. Then he gets his back hurt like week 2. Then last week he has his ankle rolled on. The guy's like the bionic man. Just let him rest like 3 weeks. Is it Landon being injured and Jurgens? Ojomo and the defensive tackles have been excellent, but the edge rushers are not doing their job. They had Nick's dead to right 3 times and only got to him once. I know. Yeah, I agree. I think those are all issues. Bills just lost to Stephon Diggs' revenge game. The Chiefs are also regressing, but I don't know if the Bills will ever get over the Chiefs. Yeah, they might not have to if the Chiefs keep losing. Chiefs season is this week. Chiefs got, and I'll be streaming it. They got the Lions at home. To me, that's a must win for them. Dickerson is officially 2. Well, I don't think is it officially now 2 weeks. I know it was 1 to 2, but I would sit him 3. My point is, if you're going to sit him 2 weeks and then bring him back for a week and then have the bye, why not just let him rest that third game as well and then give him the bye week? That gives you 4 weeks. He gets a whole month to recoup. Our O-line is ranked 17th in the NFL. We went from first 17. That's why we don't have good run game. Oh, we also need a corner, and you need an edge rusher. Yeah. One name I heard is Jalen Phillips from Miami. Yeah. What has Phillips done? Anybody got his stats this year? My concerns with Phillips is injuries. Yeah, I think right. I think I'd sit Jesse. I think I'd sit him too. What's the point? And we got 629 people here and only 189 likes. We got to have at least 300 likes in this mother humper. Hit that like button. Let's go. Let's do it. ZMX Fly. I'm 500. Not gonna lie. What's that? Keely reliability. Yeah, but who's a bigger liability? Adoree Jackson or Ringo? I still rather play Ringo over Adoree Jackson. Even though I agree with you that Ringo is a liability and the Broncos, they took it to him. But I still think he's better than Adoree Jackson. What do you think about getting Frank Wright as off? Yeah, I'm open to it. Would I trade for Mark Andrews? I mean, I would be tempted, but how would that work with Goddard? I would rather use my resources other places, I think. He has 1 sack. What about the dude, was it Granderson from New Orleans? It's stupid if you're trying to bring him back in a week or two. If he comes back week 10, you're trying to go on a run, right? We should have all the rest for the stretch. I agree. Andrews is 30. What is the point? Yeah. I just think it's a resource you don't. I think it's. I mean, I like the idea of having a backup tight end. I think you need one, but man, you got more pressing needs to use stuff on. Ringo gets beat constantly and can't tackle. What's to like? Well, you either can Adoree Jackson. I mean, at least Ringo gives up maybe 5 yards after catch. Adoree Jackson gives up like 15. Hunter from the Tech, yeah. Would they take him? Yeah, that doesn't mean he can't play. He can't play in a pass rush situation with the Eagles. You know, if you're willing to take a chance on Huff and stuff, then why not take a chance if he's available? I think that's he's a 4-3 guy, 3-4 guy. I think that gets overrated sometimes. Jalen Carter's #1 pressure rates that any player at his position, and dude's got a bad shoulder. I know. The problem isn't the edge, the interior. I like the push the interior gets with Davis and Carter. The problem is that nobody on the edge can finish. Teams get away they get away with everything against us. Eagles receiving group has 0% drop rate. 4.5 sacks is good. I think we've got, what do we got? 5 sacks as a team on the year? We need something. You need to do something, man. We should trade for Jonas Smith from Miami or from Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think names will emerge as teams, as teams, fall out of contention for a playoff spot. We just got to be patient few more weeks. Sweat has 5 sacks alone. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Bradley Chubb could be another guy. I know Mark Holmes, I didn't watch the video, but I know he did something saying Cowboys are interested in Chubb. Mark thinks Dallas is going on a playoff run. Our O-line is only bad because of the injury. Once we heal up, we'll be good. I agree. But don't you think, like, if you're gonna give Landon Dickerson 2 weeks off, right? If he's gonna be out the next 2 weeks, why bring him back for the Giants game? You could beat the Giants without him, and then you get a bye week. Give him 4 weeks off. How the hell does Sweat have 5 sacks? Maybe our system doesn't allow players pass rush their full potential. I mean, I think there's actually some truth to that. I think that they like their edge rushers a lot of times to cover. So I do think there's some truth to that. But, Sweat, man, he's done it before. He could be streaky. Njoku? Yannick Ngakwe is a free agent, but I think he's a free agent still for a reason. The Giants' defensive line in terms of pass rush is really good, but you can run on them. I think this should be a Barkley game. We have Brian Johnson 2.0 problem with the offense combined with the diminished play of our offensive line. I have to be honest, I don't see us repeating this year. Well, Michael, I mean, it's early. If you go back to week 5 of last year, we were on a bye week. So what were we? We were 2-2. And most people were thinking that we needed to fire the coach, that we were back to that 2023 collapse type stuff, and it was just bad. And we went to the Super Bowl and won it. So it's too early to know that. I don't think they trade Hunter. No. Yeah, well, maybe if they lose a few more games. Yeah, CJ the Ravens, that pretty much, that means he's going to do nothing. You know what I mean? He'll do nothing the rest of the year. I don't want Dougie P as offensive coordinator. It's like Rocky and Rocky 2, when he retires, he's walking around with the spit bucket. No, he's a Super Bowl champ head coach. Got you your suit. He's too. No, he can't be offensive coordinator here. I don't even think he's that great of offensive coordinator, to be honest with you. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like about his offense, to be honest. I don't want him. Now, McDaniel gets fired, I would go about him. Frank Reich would be okay. I think Frank Reich would be fine. But I don't want Doug Pearson as offensive coordinator. I'm sort of against bringing in McDaniel. Why get Hurts his 10th offensive coordinator? It's not fair to him. You might not have a choice, right? I mean, if Patullo stinks and can't fix it, he's going to end up being the scapegoat, and he's going to be gone. And maybe if he does really good, he's going to be gone. At least if you got McDaniel, he wouldn't go he ain't going to get a head coaching job right away. So he's probably there at least a few years. Frank Reich would be fine. McDaniel would be good. Philly Capital has called good plays. Execution was the issue. Also balanced. I'm fine bringing Frank to help control. Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. He's just got to find his balance, right? He went from one extreme to the other extreme. Bring it back in somewhere in the middle, and we'll be okay. Flacco the Bengals, it is hilarious. Now, Doug P. like Rocky 3 and crash out every game, start saying, you ain't bad. He can't come. You can't bring the first Super Bowl champion coach come back as offensive coordinator to the coach that replaced him. No, he can't do that. That's like Doug having to put his tail between his legs. You don't do that to him. And if Hurts struggles with McDaniel, then what? Well, you got the same issues then, right? I mean, I don't think Hurts would. I actually think that offense would probably be awesome. Has there ever been? Yeah, there's been some coordinators that were paid a lot of money to stay, and they stayed a few extra years. I think didn't the Chiefs do it for a few years? Lauren Biggs, what's going on? Philly 500. I'm only going to be here briefly. What did I miss? Not much. We're talking about the sit down that happened. We're talking about Landon Dickerson's going to be out, and we're talking about getting back on track. And speaking of getting back on track, Philly 500 is getting back on track this week because I had a bad last week. No doubt about it. But I'm going to have a good... ProfitX is the ultimate sports prediction market. Dive into peer-to-peer plays, create your own odds, and face off with fellow fans for bigger thrills and better payouts through exciting sweepstakes. Legal in 40 states. It's the smartest way to play. Get started now with promo code Philly500 and score up to $200 in ProfitX cash. That's $200 in ProfitX cash. Just use promo code Philly500. Let me know how it goes. You must be of legal age. Void where prohibited. All right, so here's what I got. This is my play. If you don't like playing the points with the Eagles giving 7, that over-under of 40.5 looks really, really good. They think that the Giants aren't going to score because their quarterback and he stinks. And they think the Eagles aren't going to score because we didn't score but 17 last week. Take the over, 40.5. You could do that at ProfitX. Check them out. Get $200 of ProfitX cash. Just use promo code Philly500. That's the play. 40.5, 40.5 over. Easy, easy money. That's easy right there. Right now, I have 60% on quarterback 1, 30% O-line, and 10% KP. His play calling hasn't been that bad. The runs this week were horrible, but Barkley was hurt. He didn't even practice today. Now, I disagree. You're going to put 60% of the problems on Hurts? You don't have 4 wins without Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts arguably is an MVP candidate, to be honest with you. I disagree. Patullo, his play calling has been horrendous. It was better this week, but it's been horrendous. So no, I would put 70% on Patullo / Nick Sirianni, and then I would put the rest of it on the offensive line. I don't think you have 4 wins without Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I don't even know how people tried to finish it on Hurts at all this year. No, I don't either. Me neither. No, Hurts has been fine. Hurts isn't the problem. You saw that the handcuff is the problem. It's either Sirianni or Patullo or a combination of both. That's been the problem, and it's magnified with the injuries to the offensive line. Chargers rumors for getting Breece Hall or Alvin Kamara before the trade deadline since Hampton and Harris are out. I could see that, yeah. Yep, streaming the Lions Chiefs game. I will be. I'll be doing, well, I got the Dallas game on Sunday. I think I'm doing the Dallas game and then take the rest of the afternoon off and then come back for Sunday Night Football. And then on Monday night, we got Washington. Hurts had 7 touchdowns, 0. I know. What up, Philly? You almost said it like Dougie P's having to put his tongue. I know. I know. I know. What an idiot I am. I'm a fan, but I'm reasonable with the takes, and I will cook Hurts if he needs to, but it's not him so far. Not so far. No. Yeah, I think Jalen's been. I don't think you win 4 games without Hurts. Hurts has no interceptions. Look at the Mahomes with a pick 6, and Lawrence tried to get him back in the game. Chiefs. Hurts would have had 400 yards passing with no bullshit procedure or penalties. If the coaches took the handcuffs off Hurts, he'd have about 14 touchdowns right now. They have put handcuffs on him, and then they took it off briefly. They started taking it off in the Rams second half of that game, first half of Tampa game, and then I thought in the last game also. It's just they're just too imbalanced. They go one way or the other. Sorry, I kicked that. I can't say Padula got better this week. For starters, we lost, but more importantly, only 6 carries for Barkley. It's criminal activity. There's no reason he should single-digit carries. It's just like they got to find a balance. Like, there's no balance on this team. 33% bad play calls, 33% awful execution, 33% line play. 100% frustration. Yeah, I agree with that. But to me, it's not Hurts. It's the play calling, the offensive line, and Saquon. Yeah, I agree. See, what I wonder is how much of this was there last year, but because the offensive line was so dominant and Barkley was having these big runs, it kind of masked, maybe the extreme, play calling and things like that, which isn't happening now. It's Laurie and Howie's handcuff. It hurts. The offensive coordinator head coach usually get the blame while Howie and Laurie play puppeteer. Maybe. We are a better team, just need to play like it. Hurts and the offense should have default playbook for certain situations when you can't trust your offense coordinator. Yeah. I sent some players out there that feels horrible. Yeah, I would too. Hey folks, it's your buddy Philly 500. I want to thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to. Thank you, big dog. Good as ever, good play call. Bad execution is an illegal shift called back a big play. Yeah, that called back a fourth down play. That was what, 4th and 7? That would have given you were down 1. You would have had the ball with 5 minutes left at the 21-yard line in Denver, and they called it back. You know, what about Hurts having and Barkley coming up with? Hurts came up with that play on that pass to Barkley down the sideline. Why is Hurts coming up with that and not the offense coordinator? Saquon said that touchdown him in first quarter. So yeah, it was a Hurts play call. Yeah. Why is that coming from Hurts and not the coordinator? At least Hurts is one of the few quarterbacks with no interceptions. True. That's why. I mean, I don't think we have any turnovers, do we? Like, we have no turnovers on the year. That's why one of the reasons why you got 4 wins. To be fair, offensive lines play a lot of football late into the season. Oh yeah, I'm not saying that there's no reason for injury. There's definitely reasons for those guys to be banged up, but they're clearly not healthy. These are growing pains of an offensive coordinator with no experience. Yeah. 500. Do you think AJ is becoming a team? No, Stacy. I don't. I don't think he's even in the same. He's not even in the same league as Terrell Owens. That was a whole different thing. No. We have a fumble? I don't remember. Oh, they definitely hate the Eagles. And you definitely can't trust or rely on them. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't have games be like they were versus Denver last week. You are not going to get the calls. We are not. It's just not going to happen. There's no way. When Pryor got hurt, strip sacked in the Rams game. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we need to bring Mike McDaniel and be consultant Patulo. I don't think that's a bad idea. I don't blame Steve for the penalty on the RPO in that situation. O-linemen are taught to punch and to get the next level. No, I don't blame him either. That was one of the least penalty ones I worried about. You had to pitch out to Barkley that looked like it was about to be a huge gain. That they blew that play dead offside. Then you come back, Barkley runs for 9 yards, and then they call holding. Then you get the illegal shift on 4th down. It was like every drive in that 4th quarter we started like 1st and 15, 1st and 20. It killed us. Cruising, my man, what's going on? How are you? This should be private. No one should know. Thank you, my man. The sit-downs are always private. I think we're forgetting our passing game. This was an issue early last year, too. Thankfully, Barkley was doing his thing. Yeah, it was. So I was thinking the same thing. We're about to finish up week 6 and 100%. I see Hurts MVP this year. I think he's got to be considered. No, they haven't fired him yet, but from all indications, we're getting close. We need to clean up those penalties, even if they are bullshit calls. We know we have to target on our back, and we need to play more discipline. Agreed. Like we've talked about all year, you can't have games come down to where the refs can have it in their hands. We are not going to get favorable calls. Did you see the game last night? 30 seconds left in the game. They call a pass interference on the Chiefs that give the Jaguars a first and goal at the 1. 30 seconds left in the game. The pass interference that they called was 50 times less obvious than the pass interference on Dallas Goedert in that game, and they didn't call it. No, not yet, but close. There's a lot of rumors that one more loss is going to do it. Having Dougie P at offensive coordinator is like having Carson Wentz as backup quarterback right now. Well, I mean, Carson, I don't know. I don't see it like that. Yeah, 500, that was wild. The refs were calling too many subjective calls. Yeah, and they're going to. They're out. The league's not happy with the Eagles. Cruiser, thank you for Super Chat. How's your cornerback 2 playing? Not great. Not great. I thought Ringo's better than Adoree. Adoree has been horrible. He was horrible. Ringo played and started last week. I think Ringo's better, but still not great, though. But where the Eagles really are struggling, cruising, is the edge rushers. They're getting good pressure up the middle, but the edge rushers are not getting home. That's been a problem for the Eagles. I know I'm biased, but sure feels like the calls have not been the Eagles, and they won't be. Yeah. On the illegal motion, Dotson gets set, and then the ref has him move forward half a foot when Barkley starts motion. How much advantage is a half a foot going to give him on the route? Not much. Eagles league in 3 and outs, I know. Boss up tickets for the Eagles versus Chargers. Let's go, 500. There you go. That's good. I can't get to that game. That's like 8 hours away from me. But you go and let me know how it is. I'll be here. Malik says, remember when Nick said they brought Kellen for fresh ideas? What made him think Patullo had good ideas when he was already in the building way before? I don't know. What I want to know is why didn't they keep any of the plays from the Kellen playbook? Like, why didn't you keep the plays that you had that worked? Yes, that was the worst call. I mean, there was no advantage on that illegal motion. Nothing. We don't have wide receivers. Take advantage of your quarterback. I know, I mean, that's a shame with neighbors, dude. That sucks. But I hear you. I guess everyone's right. We can't win unless we push tush. Nah. I still think Bennett would be better cornerback 2 over Ringo when healthy. Yeah, he might be, but I mean, he's still hurt. That's the problem. If McDaniel comes to Philly, he will have to ditch the capri pants. Well, I agree with you there. It's not Kellen's playbook. It's Nick's 500. Well, it's got to be better than what we've seen. Yeah, Neighbors is a hell of a player. Hell of a player. It was a shame. It's a shame what happened to him. I think defensive end's coming. Who do you think we could trade? I don't know. The only guy that I really think is going to get traded, I don't know where, but I think he'll get traded is Hendrickson. The Eagles are your last hope. Sixers stink, agreed. Point guard Embiid even became injured. Maxey will have to carry as usual. Phillies are a joke. I mean, it's the World Series champs and the Flyers or whatever. I know. Be interesting to see what Howie does around the trade. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm still betting on a pass rusher. I still think that's where they go. I mean, it just makes sense to me to go pass rusher. But I mean, we'll see. I think the trade deadline's the end of November. Or not the end of November. It's like early November, I think. So it's like week 9 or something like that. Derek Jenkins, what up? Is this the second Nick hired from within and has failed? Nick is common denominator. It is, but I mean, I don't think you can say it failed yet. It's week 5, and you're 4-1. Well, it's week 6 now. I don't think you can say it failed yet. What makes you think change offensive coordinator this late? Anything due, in my opinion, behind closed doors is not too bad sooner. No, I don't think you change offensive coordinators now. That's not what we're saying. We're saying bring in a consultant to work with the offensive coordinator, help him out, give him a fresh set of eyes, that kind of thing. That's what we're talking about. You can't change coordinators now. It's too late. What about Asante Samuel? He's still out there picked up. He's got an X-ray coming, or MRI coming end of October to see if his neck, how it healed. He can't even be cleared until then. So nobody's going to touch him until he's cleared. November 4th is the trade deadline. It's not like the Broncos dominated. That was an easy win that should have been a blowout. Eagles just choked. Yeah, that was one of those games where you say, we should have won it, but we blew it at the end. It happens. I mean, I'm not sweating a loss. I'm not sweating anything, to be honest. I actually feel pretty good where we're at. I just want to see the offense be more balanced. Crosby is coming here. I'm telling you, well, that would be amazing. That would cost you like a first round pick, though. That's going to cost you a haul. Travis Hunter looked good on offense and defense last night against the Chiefs. Not gonna lie, saw a play where he locked up Travis Kelce and said it wouldn't transition to NFL. He's generational. Yeah, I mean I thought he looked good too, especially offensively. I thought he looked good. Sirianni should have been fired when we lost our first game ever to the Jets. We were literally 11-0 all time versus them. Yeah. What would it take to get Mad Max from the Raiders? I would have to think like at least a first and a third, at least. We definitely need a pass rusher. Howie Roseman needs to start scouting offensive coordinators if anyone can pull heist how he can. True. The Condor is becoming an eagle. Are injuries reside from Super Bowl? I think when you play long into the season, you don't have as enough time to recover, right? I mean, you look at like Dallas, because they stink. They're out of the playoffs, don't go to the playoffs. So by the time we play in the Super Bowl, they've already been off like almost 2 months. So I think there's carryover for a Super Bowl team. It happens every year. What the Eagles are thinking, I think, is that, Jurgen's probably not healthy fully right now, but he'll get healthier as the season goes on. Dickerson get healthier as the season goes on, and then we'll go into the playoffs and that line will be who they are. People forget it's golden era of Eagles football. I remember watching Sammy Sleeves and Bradley Fletcher. How about Kui Detmer? That was a brutal one. Hire an experienced offensive coordinator that won't leave us after 1 year. Yeah, could. Archibald looks horrible. His mechanics are terrible. How can his uncles let him have such awful mechanics? I don't know. He won't go. If he doesn't have a great year and he's not going like number one, he won't come out. He'll stay in another year. Remember when Sam Bradford was our starting quarterback and we had DeMarco Murray? Yeah, the nightmare days. Broncos game was a true trap game coming off 3 weeks of playoff opponents. Denver could take the win and make the playoffs with the Chiefs and Chargers struggling. I know. I agree. It's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. How about Bobby Hoying? Nothing will ever be as bad. Dude, Bobby Hoying versus the Bengals. Do you remember that game? He looked like a Hall of Fame. My dad's like, he's a Hall of Fame. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, this kid. I mean, everybody thought Bobby Hoying was the answer. Everybody thought he was the answer. And he wasn't. He wasn't. Those are the bad days, man. Crosby will cost a first, a third, a 2026 second in 2027. Wait, a first, a third in 2026, a second in 2027. We need to recoup that first round pick by trading Nolan Smith in the offseason. I don't trade Nolan Smith. I keep Nolan Smith. I just wouldn't sign him to an extension. I would consider that trade. If Crosby's 28 years old, yeah, I would consider it. Would Shady make a good offer for Bird? I don't know. Kevin on the Cobb was the worst. Dude, Kevin Cobb was like, he was basically like one play and Matthews concusses him and his career is over. It was it. That was it. Better than Jeff Kemp, that guy. Oh my God, the guy in France, best friend, Sir Jack Kemp. Oh my God, do you remember that? You're talking about. We're talking about the House of Pain game. No, I don't think you give Nolan Smith a contract extension. Seth Joyner would be a good. I don't think defensive players. I don't think players today could deal with. I don't think Seth Joyner could deal with players today. He doesn't have a bullshit filter. He ain't gonna put up with it. You know. We need someone with experience. Can't waste a roster on someone dying. I agree. Sam Bradford was my least favorite Eagle player besides Riley Cooper. I never liked the Foles trade. So I think the Eagles get a win this Thursday against Giants, but I don't think it'll be close because it's a divisional game. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We should win. I didn't mind Jeff Garcia. I thought Crosby just signed a new deal. He did. Remember we had garbage receivers and bums like Coy Detmer, Kevin Cobb. I know. I remember. A.J. Rager on the deep passes. Rager. Where's this Crosby stuff coming from? The Crosby stuff is originating from rumors last week swirling that the Cowboys were discussing a Crosby trade with the Raiders. The assumption is that if the Cowboys are going to trade for him, and if the Raiders are willing to listen to offers, then the Eagles should join that. That's where it's coming from. Would I take Matt Nagy? No. I would rather have McDaniels. Garcia was probably good and plays hard. He was. Yeah, I didn't mind Garcia. I mean, I knew he wasn't going to take over for McNabb, but, you know, he was injured. I think Nick is a good coach for a rebuild, not for a championship team. Well, I mean, it's fair to say that they're learning how to win, right? This team has got to learn how to win. We need Kobe and Smith come back. No team is running on us. Hopefully not. I would not trade AJ Brown. I'm not trading AJ Brown. It's not even that's not even an option. If you want to move on from AJ Brown, you have to do it in the off season. You can't do it right now. And I have no interest in that, you know. The Bounty Bowl with the Day for Cowboys. Yeah, that's classic. I love the Bounty Bowl. Bounty Bowl was the junks, man. We put a beating on Dallas. How about the Mark Sanchez stuff is crazy. It's crazy. AJ Brown going to explode 1 week and have a killer year. It's just going into week 6. I agree. Jerry Potter, thank you for the super chat. How do you feel about Bobby Slovak from the Texans? I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Texans games, but from what I've seen of him in the past, not bad. But I mean, how good has their offense been this year? That's the question. I've only watched the Texans one time this year. I'm pretty sure we trade AJ Brown, we'd be in salary cap hell. They would have to probably restructure it in the off season. The dead cap money this year would be too great though. I don't know what the contract says after this year, but I have no interest in trading. What do you want, Umbrella Man? Or we want to go back to Rager? Are we going to go back to those days? I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. I need AJ Brown 2 more seasons, this year and next year. Then I'm going to make a move from that kid from Ohio State. Then I'm going to make the big move for him. And then I'll go with him and Smitty. But until then, I need AJ Brown. Rocky, thank you for the super chat. I want Mike McDaniel. I doubt he would get another head coach job. It would take him at least a couple years, right? So he would probably be your offensive coordinator at least 2 or 3 years. Get those absolutely. Yeah, I watched the Fangio press conference earlier. He's former. I can't remember. I can't remember what his offense was like to give a fair answer on that. Then my question is, if he's such a great offensive coordinator, why is he not in the league right now? But I don't remember him enough to tell you Yeah, we should get him. I remember the name. I remember hearing that name, but I don't remember. My coworker is a Dolphin fan would gladly give up McDaniels. I don't think McDaniels is a good coach, right? I think the players walk all over him, but I do think he's a good offensive coordinator. Remember Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson, Calvin Ridley trade talks in 2022 offseason. 3 years later, we finally got a second ring with Hurts, Barkley, and Smith. Agreed. Keep AJ, guy. I agree. What's good, 500? What's up, NFL Reality Check? I've always felt the frustration was from play calling, not individual frustration. These guys talking is great, but will it fix the offense? I don't know. God bless. Yeah, well, that's the question. They may all be on the same page, but the problem still may be the head coach. Chip Dip Kelly, well, he's at the Raiders. I already don't like how he's used. I watched one game of the Raiders, and he doesn't use the running back. He barely used that running back, and when he ran, it was great. So I don't want anything to do with Chip Dip Kelly. Cannot play McDaniels. Yeah, I agree. Unc, what's going on, my man? I think McDaniels is too young, and when you come in a room of alphas, you can't be their best friends where they walk over you. It just seemed like when I watched the Hard Knocks with the Dolphins, it just seemed like the players kind of ran him. Yeah, we actually had a finalized deal for Ridley, but the gambling stuff happened. Yep. Rock the art test. Time for action. What's going on? Yep, Bengals traded for Flacco. Guess Sanders isn't quarterback. I don't know. If I were Fangio, I would be furious because the defense is doing their part. And the defense is slightly. The defense is not. Yeah. I mean, but look, it could turn around quick. The Eagles' offense, like I said last week going to Denver, their offense to me is a volcano ready to explode. If now what I want to see from Patullo is this. Does Patullo say, all right, we tried to come out and throw the ball. It didn't work. Now we're going to go back into our shell and do the things we did the first 4 weeks? Or is he going to say, all right, look, we went too far one way. Let's put it back in the middle, be more balanced. If he does that, the Eagles are going to crush the Giants. Rocky Davis Super Chat goes, the ball just said AJ is open a lot and understands why he's frustrated. Yeah, don't believe anything the ball says. He's just trying to start conflict. Cortland Sutton is underrated. I felt that he was underrated for a while. Yeah, the defense was exhausted in the fourth quarter, especially. I mean, say what you want about the defense. They only gave up 3 points in the first 3 quarters. But the offense has to help them out. No, A.J. Brown's not a distraction locker. A.J. Brown is not T.O. He's not a diva. He's not trying to start. He's fine. He's fine. Trust me, he's fine. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm gonna get it's over. Oh God, I'm running late, so I'm gonna have to head out because I gotta go work. But I want to thank everybody for joining me. I will have a video out later today. I'm gonna work on it later, but you can look for that. And then tomorrow I won't be doing a morning stream. We're doing Shakedown preview for Wednesday night for the game on Thursday. So I'll have a video tonight, a video in the morning, and then tomorrow night we'll be doing a live stream. But yeah, I didn't realize it was like so late. I needed to go 18 minutes ago. So with that, let me thank everybody for joining me. It was a great stream tonight. And we'll be back Shakedown tomorrow night, video later today, and a video in the morning. So I got a full plate on my hands. Shout out to my wife too. Happy anniversary. It's our 19th anniversary, so I need to go celebrate with her as well. Just if she's watching, I love you. Can't wait for later tonight. Babies. Making some babies. No, I do not. Well, sometimes I do, but sometimes I don't. It just depends. Tomorrow, Thursday, I'm home all day. I work from home, and I took the half a day, so that way I'm not late for the Eagles game. Alshon Jeffrey is standing up like he did in college. He ran well last week. He's going to be good. Thank you, Unc. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. 19 years. That woman has put up with me for 19 years. And a saint, because I can't even put up with myself. I can't stand myself. So I don't know how she did it, but God bless her. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you later. Peace.
Come on, guys.
2 minutes to go. You got plenty of time.
Come on.
Oh, shit! Dad! No!
It's over. It's over. This game is over. Cut it off. It's over.
Fuck.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay. Congratulations, Green Bay.
I said run the ball.
Congratulations, Green Bay. Dak Prescott, you need to be fired today. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak. That was on you, Dak.
I said run the ball.
That was on Dak Prescott. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. Trying to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You tried to feed the CeeDee Lamb. You got to give it to CeeDee Lamb. God. It's over. It's over, Dak. Put Trey Lance in the game. Trey Lance can't do worse than you.
I'm an idiot because I buy into this shit. I buy into this shit. Because here's the thing. I am a grown-ass man. And I talk the talk. It is killing me.
I feel it coming. I feel like it's going to take Jerry Jones taking. Cut it off. It's over.